So Gary is wrong. And if you watch Gary's economics, you quickly notice something about his view on inequality. There is a lot of talk and anger about how little money most folks have left. And the reason for that, he says, is rich people. And that's all fine if it was only true. His solution is a 2% tax on wealth over $10 million. And honestly, that's fine if it would work well. But the trouble is, do you blame rich people for people's inequality? And two, does his solution actually work? Sadly, the numbers show it doesn't. So that's the problem of Gary. It comes down to get more money from somewhere, and that somewhere is to tax the rich. Now, his estimate is that he'll get 24 billion pounds. That's kind of not enough. And you got to allocate money to reduce that inequality is the next step. But where do you actually put that money? And then who is the one that's going to allocate that money? Because it's likely going to have to be politicians. And are they going to be competent enough to actually put it where it counts? And so then we're left hoping that all these things happen. And look, I admire the guy as a thinker, promoter. Like, he's been banging on about wealth inequality, and it's legitimate. Like, this is the entire thing that I've been banging on about on this channel too, about how crap things are and how the system's broken. But because his strategy does not work, we have a problem with it. And that's that Gary's wrong, simply because on UK budget data, that 24 billion pounds raised from his strategy, it would barely touch the sides. He has latched onto that annual wealth tax, that 2% tax on net assets above 10 million pounds in the UK. And even based on that heroic, optimistic assumptions, does not even raise enough, because if you look at the entire budget of the UK, the revenues that come in are $1.2 trillion. That's $1,200 billion. Now it brings us to the next question of allocating that money where exactly to help reduce inequality. So Gary said, invest in healthcare, housing, and tax cuts. All of those can help alleviate the cost of living. Yes, inequality has many causes. It's multifactorial, but this approach begs the question whether you have checked what will actually move the needle the most. And it doesn't look like that 2% on over 10 million assets can actually do that. The issue becomes, if you do not have a plan for where this money will go, we can't actually solve the inequality problem. And of course, like I just mentioned in my previous videos, that housing is the largest expense for most people in their weekly budget. Nothing comes close. If it's either renting or paying off a mortgage, that housing related cost sucks the blood worse than a vampire. More blood than a rock can even provide. And you just, if we could, knock out that one thing, housing as the most expensive thing out of our weekly budgets, that would be the thing that I've been banging on about more than anything, would create less inequality. So to finalize things, you'd need to lobby the crap out of it. And I know Gary's actually mentioned this. He's like, well, hey, I'm happy to have any politicians, hopefully people that are in the government right now, come onto my show. He said that, which is correct, because he'd have to actually convince those politicians to do the stuff that he's been talking about doing. And the trouble is, there's never a guarantee, and usually politicians aren't those type of people to actually go and listen to others. They may take your idea, but they'll usually change it into something different. Unless, of course, you create your own party. Gary makes his own party, has his own platform, And of course, that is hard yakka. And to get that through, I mean, your entire party is effectively going to be a one-issue party. I mean, it's going to be tax the rich party, but look, it could be something different. But you have to have then other policies for so many other things that, of course, you know, you don't talk about. If you're Gary on your show, you only talk about inequality. So if we solved one thing, coming back full circle, it would be housing. Gary's mentioned it, kudos to him. But for my thing, and I've brought it up in several videos, all the data, all the inequality, in one single swoop, it would be make sure that you reduce the cost of housing. Other things besides that are like putting a Band-Aid on a wound that just continues bleeding, because, like, say, taxing some people, the rich people, to get more money, that's not going to solve the underlying issue. You can tax other entities, corporations, you name it. Like, that's even probably easier to pull off than taxing the rich folks. Just tax the companies. And, you know, the ultimate problem is you're not solving the bleeding wound. And I won't like go deeper into this, but even the most left-wing of media, they did a little bit of a review of Gary's most recent first documentary, which was on Channel 4 in the UK. And I mean, it's a little bit slack because you'd expect this media organization, The Guardian, to actually be on his side because they're usually left of center. But I mean, they even said that the documentary did not convince even them, just based on the interviews that Gary had with people, which, by the way, was quite heroic of him, who disagreed with him. And that was great that he did do that. But it kind of sucks when you have people on your documentary who actually can out-argue your point. So that's what ended up happening with Gary's documentary. He was out-argued on his very point, on the very point of the documentary itself. But I do admire ultimately what he's trying to do. I'm just saying it's wrong. I mean, that's how ideas become better. If you focus on how you can improve the gaping holes in your concepts, then you actually make a better idea. And ultimately, if you want to be able to change things, we have to focus on housing. And I wrote a book about this topic. See the link below. If you found this useful, please do like, subscribe, and comment. See you next time.